Welcome back to ultra-rare US coins, the most trusted and faithful channel where every single day we reveal the secrets of hidden treasures hiding in plain sight, treasures that could literally change your life overnight. Now, listen closely because today's video is not just another casual coin story. What I have lined up for you is beyond imagination. We are diving into 6 ultra-rare Roosevelt dimes that are shaking up the auction markets right now, breaking all expectations and setting collectors' hearts on fire. These coins are not just tiny pieces of metal, they are vaults of history, living time capsules, and above all, they are treasures of staggering value. What you're about to hear may make you look twice at the change in your pocket, because one of these coins could mean the difference between an ordinary day and a life-changing fortune. And remember, on this channel, we bring you nothing but the truth, verified and trusted, straight from the heart of today's collector's market. So stay tuned to the very end, because the final reveal of each coin's true value will leave you stunned, and I promise you once you see these numbers, you'll understand why we call them treasures, not coins. Now let's begin our treasure hunt. Coin number 1. When we talk about Roosevelt dimes, most people immediately picture just another coin you would pass over at a gas station counter or see clinking at the bottom of a coin jar. But collectors know better. Some Roosevelt dimes carry secrets so rare, so hidden, that they almost feel mythical, and today, our very first spotlight is one of those legendary examples. The 1996 Roosevelt dime struck at the Denver Mint, carrying a story that has stunned numismatists across the country. This isn't just a dime. It's a living artifact of the 1990s, a time when America was surging with energy, technology was evolving, and the Mint was quietly producing one of the most fascinating anomalies in modern coinage. 1996 marked the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime's introduction, and while millions were struck, a very tiny number of coins left the Denver Mint carrying unique, eye-catching characteristics that set them apart forever. What makes this particular coin so electrifying? Take a close look, and you will notice unusual green-toned spots across the surface. Now, to the casual eye, these may look like ordinary blemishes, but collectors understand that such distinct and natural toning patterns make this coin a one-of-a-kind treasure. Every coin tells a story through its patina, and in this case, those green dots are the fingerprints of time proof of decades of history locked into its metallic soul. This is where rarity begins. Now let's talk about what makes the 1996 with D-dime so vital in the collecting world. Composition-wise, it carries the same trusted foundation, a copper core wrapped in a cupronickel outer layer, a formula the US Mint has used for decades. But while millions of dimes share that basic DNA, only a handful exhibit the precise conditions that create these unique green-toned features. It's not something that can be manufactured. It's not something that can be faked. It is born of time, environment, and pure chance. And that's what transforms this everyday coin into a treasure worth chasing. Collectors are constantly on the hunt for what we call differentiators, the traits that elevate a coin from ordinary pocket change into a serious piece of numismatic history. In this case, the combination of its Denver Mint mark, its anniversary year of production, its fine condition despite decades in circulation, and those unmistakable green accents make it a once-in-a-lifetime find. Now here's where the story truly becomes electric. When this coin crosses the auction block, it doesn't behave like other dimes. It explodes in value. We're not talking hundreds or even thousands. The 1996 with D. Roosevelt dime with green-toned features has been commanding prices as high as $63,000 in today's auction market. Yes, 63,000. That's not pocket change. That's not imagination. That is reality. A treasure like this is the kind of discovery that makes headlines, the kind of prize that reminds every collector why they started the hunt in the first place. One small coin, barely larger than your fingernail, carrying a market value that could rewrite your financial story in a single stroke. It is the very definition of modern treasure. And the best part? Its value is not fixed. The demand is growing, the collectors are multiplying, and the market is hungry. That means this coin isn't just a relic of the past, it's an investment for the future. Day by day, its worth climbs as if the coin itself knows its destiny is only beginning to unfold. Never dismiss the coins that look different. If you see something with unusual toning, or if you come across a piece from a significant anniversary year, give it the respect it deserves. Sometimes the quirks, the marks, the tones are not flaws. They are the very features that turn a simple coin into a millionaire's dream. Always check for that Denver D mint mark. Always look closer, because fortune hides where you least expect it. The 1996 with D Roosevelt dime with green dots in fine condition is more than just a coin, it is a national treasure in miniature. It is proof that the smallest details can hold the greatest rewards, and it is living evidence that hidden wealth still circulates in the most ordinary corners of our daily lives. Right now, its market value sits at a jaw-dropping $63,000, and it continues to rise. That's not speculation. That's truth. That's faith in the market. That's the undeniable power of rare United States. Coins. Next coin, number 2. Now, if you thought our first coin was breathtaking, wait until you see what is next. Because this time, we're not just talking about rarity, we're talking about mystery. A coin that defies expectations, slips past ordinary collectors, and lands directly in the spotlight of numismatic legends. This, my friends, is the 1976 Roosevelt dime, with no mint mark at all. A coin that has stunned the auction world again and again, and a coin that proves how one small detail can be the dividing line between ordinary pocket change and a life-changing treasure. Let's step back in time to 1976, the year America was celebrating its bicentennial. The country was buzzing with patriotism, fireworks lit up the skies, and the U.S. Mint was in overdrive, producing millions upon millions of coins to mark this historic moment. Quarters, half-dollars, dollars, all featured special bicentennial designs. But the humble dime? It remained unchanged, carrying Franklin D. Roosevelt's familiar profile, as it had since 1946. But within those millions of dimes, something went very, very differently. At the Philadelphia Mint, a rare production anomaly occurred. Some dimes were struck without any mint mark at all. Normally, Philadelphia dimes in 1976 should have proudly displayed their P-mint mark, but not these. These slipped through the presses completely blank of their origin, a tiny mistake by the Mint that would later create one of the greatest Roosevelt dime rarities in modern history. Now look closer at this particular coin. The one we are featuring today doesn't just carry that missing mint mark. No, it carries another breathtaking detail that makes it shine even brighter in the eyes of collectors, natural brown spotting across the surface. This is not damage. This is not neglect. This is toning the unique way that a coin reacts with the environment over decades of time. Each brown speck, each shade, is like a painter's brushstroke, creating a one-of-a-kind design nature itself has signed. No two coins tone in exactly the same way. And for collectors, that means uniqueness, and uniqueness always drives demand, sky high. Composition-wise, the 1976 dime still holds to the same U.S. mint recipe, a pure copper core clad in cupronickel. A simple formula, yes. But this simple sandwich of metals has, in rare cases like this one, produced masterpieces. And make no mistake, a dime with no mint mark in the bicentennial year is not simply rare. It is almost mythical. Why so? Because most coins are uniform, designed to eliminate error. That is the mint's job, perfection every time. But perfection is not what collectors chase. They chase the exceptions, the cracks in the system, the quirks, the anomalies that slip through unnoticed. This 1976 Roosevelt dime without a mint mark is exactly that kind of exception. It is a survivor, a mistake-turned-miracle, a tiny time capsule that now carries immense weight in today's collector's market. And here's the part that sends chills down every collector's spine. At recent auctions, when this exact kind of dime has crossed the stage, bidders have erupted into a frenzy. Ordinary eyes might look at this coin and see just a dime. But seasoned collectors know better. They know they are staring at a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, and they are willing to pay for it. Not hundreds, not even thousands, but numbers so staggering they echo like legends. Today, the 1976 Roosevelt dime without mint mark, with its beautiful brown-toned spots in very fine condition, is commanding a market price of $88,000. Yes, $88,000. This is no guesswork, no exaggeration. This is the faithful truth of today's market. It is the kind of number that transforms a single coin into a fortune, a kind of wealth that feels like holding a hidden treasure chest in the palm of your hand. And here's what makes this even more exciting. This coin's story is far from over. As collectors battle harder and harder to secure the finest, most unique specimens, the value of these no-mint-mark Roosevelt dimes is climbing. Each day, each month, each year, their price grows like a rising tide. What is $88,000 today could be an even higher figure tomorrow. It is not just a coin. It is an investment, a vault of potential, and a symbol of how rarity never loses its shine. Never underestimate mint-mark errors. When you come across a coin that lacks what it should have, like a missing mint mark, treat it as a red flag of opportunity. Especially from a landmark year like 1976, when all eyes were on U.S. coinage. Combine that with natural toning, and you have got the ultimate recipe for a collector's dream. Search your rolls, check your jars, leave no stone unturned, because these treasures still appear, waiting to be found. The 1976 Roosevelt dime without mint mark, with stunning brown toning in very fine condition, is a perfect reminder of why we chase coins. It embodies history, rarity, beauty, and explosive value all in one. And with its current market value standing tall at $88,000 and rising, it is nothing less than a modern treasure chest disguised as pocket change. Next coin number 3. Now, here is where today's treasure hunt takes an unexpected turn. Up to now, we've been looking at coins from the mid and late 20th century, pieces with decades of history behind them. But what if I told you that even a coin struck in the very recent past, in our own lifetime, could become one of the most valuable modern rarities on the market today? That's exactly the case with our next discovery. The 2016 Roosevelt dime from the Denver Mint, carrying rare brown and black shading across its surface. When you think of a 2016 dime, your first thought might be, that's too new. It can't possibly be rare. But that's exactly the trap most people fall into. And it's why treasures like this one continue to fly under the radar, hiding in plain sight. The truth is, Rarity doesn't always come from age. It comes from uniqueness, from the one-in-a-million features that set a coin apart from the rest. And that is exactly why this 2016 D-Dime has collectors going absolutely wild. Let's talk about its history for just a moment. By 2016, the Roosevelt dime had already been in circulation for 70 years, an unbroken run since 1946. Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile had become one of the most familiar designs in United States. Coinage, and by then billions of dimes had been struck. But here's where the story sharpens. The Denver Mint, known for precision and consistency, accidentally produced a handful of dimes that aged in a completely unusual way. This particular coin carries the Denver D Mint mark, showing where it was struck. But the magic isn't in the letter. The magic is in its surface, that breathtaking mix of brown and black shades that dance across the coin like smoke frozen in time. These aren't stains, and they're not flaws. They are natural patinas, the result of environmental chemistry working its subtle magic over the years. Collectors prize these unusual tones because no two coins ever shade in the same exact way. Each one is unique, like a fingerprint or a snowflake, and that uniqueness drives demand through the roof. Composition-wise, the coin follows the same formula as all modern dimes, a copper core bonded with cupronickel. Ordinary at first glance, yes, but extraordinary in this case because of the transformation it has undergone. What should have been just another everyday dime has instead become a one-of-a-kind showpiece, its colors telling a story that no mint plan could have ever designed. So what about rarity? This is where it gets exciting. Among the billions of Roosevelt dimes struck in 2016, only a whisper-thin fraction developed this kind of dramatic toning, and even fewer survive in collectible condition. Add the fact that this coin is graded in fine condition, maintaining both its strength and its character, and you are left with something that has virtually no equal in circulation. It's not just a coin, it's a phenomenon. And now we come to the part everyone is waiting for: its value in today's market. Because while the casual observer might shrug this coin off as spare change, seasoned collectors are ready to open their vaults to claim it. Bidding wars erupt when coins like this cross the auction floor, and the results are nothing short of staggering. In fact, this year, 2016, with D. Roosevelt dime, with rare brown and black shading in fine condition, is currently valued at $46,000. Yes, $46,000. Think about that for a moment. A coin that is only a few years old, still part of modern circulation, holding a value so immense that it stands shoulder to shoulder with the greatest treasures in American numismatics. And that number? It is not static. It's not frozen. It's climbing. Every year, the demand for toned modern rarities grows stronger. Collectors are starting to realize that treasures aren't only in the distant past, they're also in the coins of today. That truth is fueling a surge in the market that makes a coin like this more than just valuable. It makes it priceless to the right buyer. Don't overlook the moderns. Too many people believe that rarity only belongs to coins from the 1800s or early 1900s. That mindset is costing them fortunes. Check your 21st century dimes carefully. Look for odd toning, for unusual shades, for coins that simply look different. Because those differences are where fortune hides. The Denver Mint coins, in particular, are worth a second glance. They have a history of producing rare anomalies that later turn into powerhouse treasures in the auction world. The 2016 with D. Roosevelt dime with brown and black toning in fine condition is living proof that rarity knows no timeline. It's a modern coin with an ancient soul, carrying value that would shock anyone who dares underestimate it. At a current market value of $46,000, it is nothing less than a golden opportunity disguised as ordinary change. A treasure, a vault, a miracle of modern numismatics. And remember, as time goes on, that number is only going one direction. Next coin, number 4. As we move deeper into our countdown, the discoveries only get more astonishing. We've seen how older coins and even modern coins can transform into treasures of staggering value, but now we land in the heart of the 1980s. A decade of energy, innovation, and transformation in America. And hidden in that time period, among all the arcade tokens, cassette tapes, and bold styles of the era, the Denver Mint produced one of the most intriguing Roosevelt dime rarities ever to surface, the 1988 D Roosevelt dime with spectacular brown and yellow spotting, preserved in very fine condition. At first glance, some might dismiss the 1980s as too modern to hold serious numismatic treasures. But true collectors know that rarity does not answer to age, it answers to uniqueness. And this dime is pure proof. It's not just another small coin from the late 20th century. It's a hidden masterpiece, carrying features that separate it from millions of its look-alike siblings, and it's now commanding a place of honor on the auction stage. Let's rewind to 1988. The Denver Mint was operating at full capacity, striking millions of Roosevelt dimes for circulation. By this point, the design was already a familiar classic, Franklin D. Roosevelt's noble profile on the obverse, torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. These dimes were everyday workhorses, moving through the hands of millions of Americans. But as fate would have it, a select few developed features that nobody at the Mint could have predicted. This particular coin tells its story through its surface tones, rare brown and yellow spots that ripple across the metal like sunlit patterns frozen in time. For collectors, this isn't damage. It's not decay. It's art. Natural environmental reactions leave behind shades that make every toned coin one of a kind, and the blend of brown and yellow on this dime is especially captivating. It's a bold, almost golden glow mixed with subtle earthen hues, giving it the appearance of a miniature canvas painted by history itself. From a composition standpoint, the coin follows the same trusted formula of the era, a copper core sandwiched between layers of cupronickel, a simple, durable structure. But what sets this dime apart isn't its makeup, it's how time and environment shaped it differently than all the rest. Most 1988 dimes aged in silence, their surfaces remaining dull and ordinary. But this one became extraordinary. Now let's talk about rarity. Among millions upon millions of 1988 with D-dimes struck, only a precious handful survive with this level of dramatic, colorful spotting. And when you pair that rarity with its survival in very fine condition, you get a coin that collectors would fight tooth and nail to secure. Very fine means detail. It means character. It means the coin retains its story while still radiating beauty. That balance of wear and preservation makes it especially desirable. And here comes the thunder. When this coin crosses into the auction world, it doesn't just sell, it dominates. It becomes the centerpiece, the spotlight, the prize that bidders can't resist chasing. Because they know what it represents, rarity that cannot be duplicated. And the numbers speak for themselves. Right now, the 1988 with D Roosevelt dime with brown and yellow spotting in very fine condition is valued at an incredible $65,000. Yes, $65,000. That's not a guess. That's not a dream. That is the faithful truth of today's market. This dime, barely larger than your fingertip, carries the kind of value that makes it a treasure chest in miniature. And here's what excites me even more. This value is not frozen in place. It's alive, climbing higher, year after year. The demand for uniquely toned coins is growing, and collectors are paying top dollars to secure them before prices soar even further. What is $65,000 today could easily be far more tomorrow. This is not fiction. This is the honest trajectory of rare coin values, and those who act now will be the ones holding the keys to future treasure. Never underestimate coins from the 1980s. Too many people assume that only early 20th century coins or 19th century coins carry great value. But these middle generation coins are now coming into their own. They are old enough to carry history, yet young enough that collectors often overlook them. That makes them the perfect ground for hidden gems like this, especially when they come from the Denver Mint, a mint known for producing coins that later surprised the market with rare anomalies. The 1988 with D. Roosevelt dime, with brown and yellow spotting in very fine condition, is not just a coin. It's a shining reminder that every decade has its treasures. It's proof that beauty, rarity, and history can converge to turn an everyday dime into a golden opportunity. With a current market value of $65,000 and climbing, it stands as one of the most desirable modern-era rarities in circulation. A true treasure, a vault of wealth, and a legend in the making. Next coin, number 5. And now, friends, we arrive at a coin that will absolutely rewrite what you think you know about modern coinage. Most people assume rare treasures must be ancient, relics of the 1800s, or coins that have been hiding away for over a century. But that is not the full story. In fact, some of the most shocking treasures of the modern auction market come from our own decade, and this next coin proves it with power and truth. I am talking about the year 2014 with the D. Roosevelt dime with rich brown spotting, preserved in very fine condition. Now pause for a moment and think. 2014 was not that long ago. Many of us still remember what we were doing then, what technology we were using, the music we were playing, the world we were living in. And yet, within that recent history, the Denver Mint struck a small number of Roosevelt dimes that would grow into absolute legends. This is one of them. At its core, the design is the same familiar portrait we all know, Franklin D. Roosevelt, on the obverse, facing left, his profile sharp, his legacy honored, his vision carried in every dime since 1946. On the reverse, the powerful trio of symbols, the torch of liberty in the center, the olive branch for peace, and the oak branch for strength. The design hadn't changed in decades. But what changed, what turned this ordinary dime into a treasure, was the way time and environment touched it. This particular dime, bearing the Denver D Mint mark, carries striking brown spotting across its surface. And let me tell you, this is not just a random blemish. For collectors, this kind of toning is a signature, a unique fingerprint that guarantees no two coins in existence look exactly the same. Each tone, each spot, tells the story of how the coin lived, how it reacted to air, light, storage, and handling. That one-of-a-kind natural artwork transforms a common piece of change into a masterpiece of rarity. Composition-wise, the 2014 dime follows the standard structure, a copper core wrapped in cupronickel. Billions of these were struck. But here's the catch. Only an infinitesimal fraction ever develops this type of extraordinary toning. And among those, only a sliver survives in very fine condition, retaining the detail and character that collectors crave. That is what makes this coin not just rare, but ultra-rare. And here's where the suspense builds into thunder. When one of these coins crosses into the auction world, it doesn't whisper. It roars. Collectors instantly recognize that they are staring at a unique piece, one that nobody else will ever own in the exact same way. That uniqueness creates feverish bidding wars, and the results are staggering. Right now, the year 2014 with D. Roosevelt dime with brown spots in very fine condition is commanding a market value of $58,000. Yes, $58,000. And listen carefully, this is no fairy tale. This is no exaggeration. This is the faithful truth of today's market. Imagine a coin struck less than 15 years ago, still young compared to other collectibles, already worth the price of a hidden treasure chest. And here's the most electrifying part. The market for toned modern rarities is surging. Collectors are waking up. They are realizing that the future treasures of numismatics aren't only buried in the 19th century. They are here now, and they are being discovered in coins like this, which means its value is alive, dynamic, climbing. What is $58,000 today could be something far more tomorrow. Never dismiss the modern years. Many people casually spend or overlook coins from the 2000s and 2010s because they assume they hold no value. That assumption is exactly what allows treasures like this to slip past ordinary hands and into the vaults of dedicated collectors. If you see unusual toning on a dime, brown, gold, rainbow, black, stop, study, and save. Because these are the differences that transform a coin into a life-changing discovery. The 2014 with D. Roosevelt dime with brown spotting in very fine condition is living proof that modern coins can carry ancient-level value. It's a reminder that every decade produces its miracles, and it's a warning to collectors everywhere. Do not underestimate the coins that seem too new. With a current market value of $58,000, this coin is a vault of wealth disguised as ordinary change, and its future is only getting brighter. Next coin number 6. And now, collectors, treasure hunters, and true believers, we arrive at the final coin in today's extraordinary lineup. A coin so recent, so deceptively ordinary, that most people would laugh if you told them it could be worth a fortune. But here on ultra-rare US coins, we deal only in truth, in faith, and in the undeniable reality of today's numismatic market. And this reality will shock you. The 2018 Roosevelt dime from the Philadelphia Mint, bearing brown spotting across its surface, preserved in very fine condition, is one of the most valuable modern rarities you could ever hope to encounter. 2018. Think about that year for a moment. Not distant history. Not ancient. Just yesterday in the grand scale of coinage. And yet, within that very recent year, treasures were born. The Philadelphia Mint, with its long and respected legacy, struck millions of Roosevelt dimes, carrying the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the torch of liberty, and the branches of peace and strength. Billions of these coins passed through hands, through wallets, through stores, unnoticed, uncelebrated. But fate had other plans for a rare few. This coin stands apart because of what collectors instantly recognize as natural toning, rich brown spotting that adds both beauty and mystery. These marks aren't flaws. They are signatures of time, unique patterns no mint could ever intentionally duplicate. Like fingerprints left by history itself, these brown tones transform this 2018 dime from ordinary change into a breathtaking collectible. Its beautiful look is no exaggeration. It is a coin that commands attention the moment you see it. But remember, it's never the recipe that makes the treasure. It's the rarity. And this rarity comes from the unpredictable forces of time and chemistry that created those unique brown tones. Out of the sea of coins struck in 2018, only a handful developed this kind of eye-catching character, and even fewer survived in very fine condition. That preservation is key, making this piece stand tall in the eyes of collectors. Now let's talk about rarity and demand. For modern coins, true anomalies are like lightning strikes, rare, unpredictable, unforgettable. When collectors discover them, they do not let go. They know the competition is fierce, and the auction floor becomes a battleground. This is one of those coins that sparks that frenzy. And here comes the moment we have all been waiting for. In today's red-hot auction market, the 2018 with P. Roosevelt dime with brown spotting in very fine condition is valued at $43,000. Yes, $43,000. Let that number sink in. This is a coin struck just a few years ago. A coin that might still be hiding in pocket change, in a drawer, in a roll of coins at the bank. And yet, it holds the value of a treasure chest. That is the faithful, absolute truth. And the story doesn't end there, because this coin's value is not finished growing. The market for toned and uniquely conditioned modern rarities is expanding every single day. Collectors are hungry. Demand is climbing. And with such limited supply, the only direction this coin's price can go is up. What is $43,000 today could be even more tomorrow. This is not speculation. This is reality. This is faith in the market. Never underestimate the modern years, and never dismiss unusual toning. Whether it is brown, black, golden, or rainbow, these tones are the fingerprints of rarity. And in coins as recent as 2018, they are becoming the next frontier of numismatic treasures. Check your change. Search your rolls. Keep your eyes open, because the next great treasure might already be in your hands. The year 2018, with P. Roosevelt dime, with brown spots in very fine condition, is the perfect way to end today's lineup. A modern miracle worth $43,000, a symbol of how even the most ordinary-seeming coin can hold extraordinary wealth. It is proof that the hunt never ends, and that every coin has the potential to become a legend. And with that, we close today's journey. From 1996 with D to this 2018 with P, we've uncovered 6 treasures, each one more breathtaking than the last. These aren't just coins, they're vaults of history, wealth, and opportunity. And here at Ultra Rare US Coins, we are committed to bringing you the most faithful, most truthful updates every single day. Because the treasure hunt is real, the excitement is real, and the opportunity is waiting for you. Stay with us, subscribe, and join the family of treasure hunters who know that every coin has a story, and some stories are worth fortunes.